about the disparity of African American women and their babies in their birth process. And I think she's got a really good message, so listen carefully.
I'm a little taller than my friend. So hello everyone, this has been a wonderful morning. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause for being here. And I'm still blushing from that sweet introduction. I really want to thank my buddy Deanna for that. It feels so good. I'm here to talk to you about a crisis situation, and I've been sitting here thinking, like, how am I going to talk about this? And it's a beautiful sunny day, and it's a holiday. But I do think it's really important that we bear in mind that we're facing a healthcare crisis with regard to birth in this country. What's happening with women and the infant and maternal mortality rate should not be happening in the greatest country on the planet. It shouldn't be happening. And specifically, what the plight of the African American woman giving birth generally in the hospital is pretty abysmal. Are there young people having a good time behind me? This is good. Depending upon the study that you look at, African American women are either 4 or 5 times more likely to die in childbirth than a white woman. And this is crazily unacceptable. And the statistic holds true regardless of her income. So it's not an issue of just a woman in a poverty situation. It's very troubling to me. I mean, I look at the history of this country and specifically with African American women in slavery, looking at the fact that African American women, children, when our children were a product, we didn't have low infant mortality rate. Actually, we had lots of little black babies being born to work in the fields. As upsetting as that is, you want to ask the question, well, why is that? Why now, with all the bells and whistles, are African American women dying? And when we were living in below what we perceive to be poverty in this country conditions, actually, we were an abundant crop. What's the difference? Well, the difference is that in the plantations, there were midwives. And the midwives who looked like the mama, who felt like the mama, who saw the world like the mama, heard the same prayers. And if it wasn't that woman's actual mama, which was very possible for it to not be because families were sold apart from each other, or it would be a new slave that had just come into the plantation from elsewhere, there would be somebody who cared enough and loved her enough on a personal level that she would just refuse to allow that woman to die in childbirth. That if she had to steal food, if she had to know what the herbs were in the community that would keep her alive, that she had a personal investment in her soul to not let this young woman die and not let that baby die. And that's what's needed when we have our babies. That's what's needed for all women. That when a woman is going to go through this beautiful process, this beautiful, stressful, powerful process of bringing a brand new human consciousness into conscious form, the people around her have to personally have an investment that she matters, that her baby matters, and that they will do everything within their reasonable knowledge to assist nature in doing what nature wants to do. Nature wants babies. Generally, we have to try really hard not to have a baby. That's because nature wants them. Okay? Once you've made the decision that you're going to carry a baby in your body, then we need to rely on maybe not so much the high-tech bells and whistles, because we've got a lot of that. And our numbers are not proving that these bells and whistles help us anymore in birth. It's really clear. Really, for birth, which is not a sickness, by the way, you know, you need some bells and whistles if you're going to have open heart surgery. And you need some bells and whistles if you're going to have anything done on your brain, on these other amazing things that we give thanks. I give thanks for medicine when medicine is doing what it needs to do. But generally, from the vast, wide majority of human females, what we need is time, we need space, we need respect, we need a supporting family, a partner or family group. We needed to have been well nourished before we conceived. We need to be well nourished during the conception, during the conception, well, after the conception, can have something to eat. During the birth and after giving birth, we need to have this exquisite care. And if you look at all the indigenous cultures, you'll see all these beautiful rituals, very low tech things that all cultures have devised over time to take care of women when they're pregnant, to take care of them while they're giving birth, and to take care of them, and then a very vital 40 days after the baby is born. I think we need to take a look at those beautiful rituals and at those beautiful processes and incorporate those back into our lives. And as we do that, we have to build a better world, because then we can't have a world where a mama's got to worry about going back to work 3 weeks after she gives birth to her baby. If we're going to live a human existence, we are going to be a burden on corporations. Oh well, too bad. If we want women to stop dying, if we want women of all colors to stop dying, in an event that in reality, incredibly few women should ever die in giving birth to their babies. It should be a rare, sad thing. In order to live a humane life, we have to let go of a lot of the corporate trimmings that we've been indoctrinated into believing as part of our American lifestyle. I've heard the beautiful little girl earlier in our morning together sing the national anthem, and you know I'm a Miss Radical now. The longer I live, the more radical I get. But when I hear that song, my heart fills with such passion, and I always do tear up a little bit, especially to hear a young one sing it, a little young girl singing it. And my thing with America is that I really would love America to actually be and live up to the promise of songs like that. I really would like America to be the home of the free, the land of the brave, where everybody gets their needs met, where other countries look at and say, gee, I would like to live that lifestyle. And I think we can do it. And we have to be faithful in doing it. We have to be empowered. Women right now, statistics show that young women right now fear birth more than at any other time that question has been asked to women. Young women now are really terrified of the process, and that makes them vulnerable to the doctors who feel like, I've got all the answers. We've got to raise up our daughters to know that they've got the answers, and if they don't have it, mama will get it for you, or nana will get it for you, auntie will get it for you. But really, we are the experts of our body, you know, and those of us who believe in a higher power, I like to point out that God's not stupid. God didn't create this process to kill women. God created this process to elevate the human female. Our birth process is amazing and complicated because we're amazing and complicated creatures. And that we can do it. We can do it, we can hold each other's hand, and we can get through this, and we can birth our babies in beauty and raise them to be powerful, powerful beings. And you know what? Corporations don't really want a bunch of powerful people running around. They don't take orders very well. So to that I say, too bad. It's more important for our children to live life as the universe intends for them. Much more important for them to know that their living comes from their sparkling inner being than from how big their paycheck is. At least that's what I believe. And I thank you.
Hi. Oh gosh, we're getting so close to the end of the official rally, and I don't want it to end. So we're going to keep playing.